Hey guys, Zoe here, back for some more Amateur Hour, the series where I speedrun games like a filthy casual. Now you might notice something is different this time around because this is actually post-commentary. I kind of explain later on, but basically between the last run and this one, it stopped being so casual. I was actually very determined to get a solid run, but it was taking so many attempts that I kind of got tired of trying to do live commentary every time. So I told myself I would just record, focus, get a good run, and then I could make commentary after, because then I could also kind of explain what's going on, so I'll try not to flub too much here. But basically, this first fight here, it almost goes according to plan. I'm going with the tactic of taking damage and getting myself below half health so that I start doing extra damage, because I can hit certain breakpoints for certain enemies then. But he kind of got away from me a little bit to the left side there, so I had to chase him down, so I lost a little bit of time there, but I decided to press on anyways, just for practice and consistency. Now this guy takes only 2 hits instead of 3. And you'll see I get over to the left side here so that I can get ahead of the screen, because then this guy by the ladder here, he won't stand up if you get far enough ahead of the screen from where you're supposed to be normally. Now these bugs, there are other ways of handling them. This isn't the most optimal, but I kind of found what worked for me. You'll kind of see that's the running theme here. I may not be doing optimal strategies, but I was finding things that was working for me safely enough and consistently enough overall. This fight against Rocksteady goes much better than Bebop's. I make every hit, I don't take any damage, so pretty good on the time there. .2 seconds ahead this time. Not bad. Sometimes it would be as low as maybe only 5 seconds ahead. Other times it could be 8 point something, so 7.2 wasn't too bad at this point for me. I kind of stopped trying to get, the perfect run. I kind of had to just accept that it wasn't going to happen instantly, These enemies right here, I don't really know how to approach them properly, so I kind of just found what worked for me. I know I could kill them faster without having to, stop moving and fidget around, but again, I kind of just found what worked for me well enough so that I could just make it through the rest of the run. Part of the challenge that I faced was some runs, the enemy sets would change to what I'm not used to, so I'd have to try to adjust accordingly. Now this guy standing right here, there is a way to just jump over him without having to kill him, but it must be a really tight space of pixels because I couldn't quite get the feel for it, so I didn't try doing it here. Kind of just resigned to the fact that I was just going to have to kill him safely. Now there, I swung, I think, a little too late, so I ended up taking a hit. Kept pressing on anyways. That jump over the gap there, I started to just take it right away rather than trying to line myself up. It was actually good for practice to just go quickly, so it ended up working out in my favor. Now, the swimming part for the dam level here, this was not my best showing. Part of the thing is, throughout all the runs, I'm not sure if there's a way to control or determine the RNG of the electricity, because some runs, I'd take about the average amount of damage. Other ones, I'd have a ton of extra health left over, because I would just get lucky and pass through a lot of them when they're turned off, because I'm just trying to go as fast as I can without having to stop. And other times, my health would be way lower than it should be, so that I'd have to actually stop moving on some of them, because I couldn't afford to take that other hit. And then sometimes like there, I'd make a dumb mistake of getting hit by the seaweed, which you can totally avoid doing. Having to switch to RAF at this point isn't too out of the norm. But I feel like somewhere along the way, like there, I think I took an extra hit that I really shouldn't have. I also ended up taking 3 hits through that section, which I'm not sure if that's my average, but it felt sloppy. Because at this point, I already had to switch to Leo, and now I'm already hurt. 3 bars at this point, which is a little too much. Because I know how many hits I need to be able to take for the end part. Next to the last bomb, I always like to have at least 3 health, because I need to have 1 remaining, and then I'm going to take 2 hits typically. So I stopped there because normally I'd get hit there, and then I possibly could get hit here as well. If I get hit on both, I'd only have 2 blocks of health left, which wouldn't be safe enough for this last bomb. Because I don't want to have to switch to Donnie. I don't want to wreck any of his health. I need it elsewhere. Ultimately, I ended up getting lucky on that 1 electricity. It turned off, so I didn't take that 1 hit that I was expecting. So I have 1 left over here. And you can see I only saved about a second. And you can see me shaking my head. Pretty much anytime I'm ever shaking my head, it's because I know I messed up something. There, I could easily have a good 5 seconds gain from my last, at least with how I've been playing, without changing any tactics, although there's not really too much else I can change up for this underwater section. I know there's a few tiny things with approaching like that second to last bomb. You can actually do a little maneuver where you kind of float down closer to it, so you can try to grab it near more the middle, because the longer you want to try to grab all the bombs from the middle, because then you don't have to deal with that little animation of him swimming into position. But at that point, it's fine. I knew, again, everything wasn't going to be perfect. So at this point, I knew my time could be better, but I kept on going anyways. It's like, okay, we're still ahead on time. I have okay health on Donnie. Because up top there, up that ladder, I'm going to need to be able to take a hit. So I need to make sure I get to this point of the game with some health, some spare health on Donnie. Now here, if you jump at the very edge, bonk your head, he'll fall through the floor. It's just a consistent way of making that happen. See, there's the hit that I know I'm going to take. It's pretty much unavoidable. There, I actually get that in one go. That doesn't always happen. I usually need one jump to align myself, and then the second jump usually makes it. But I was actually very happy that I nailed it there. I started to get a little bit of a feel for it, to be able to line up just instantly and jump straight up. It wasn't consistent, but every once in a while I'd get it. Unfortunately here, and a couple of times later, I think I end up clipping some of the corners of these buildings because I'm trying to cut them a little too tightly. It's almost like at some point I probably should have just stopped trying to cut them so tightly and just try to be consistent, but I was trying to save time where I could. But then little instances like that, they cost me, you know, a split second. Now, some of these tanks I know I could damage boost through, but I'm trying to conserve my health still on Donnie because of what's coming up. There's at least 1 or 2 instances where sometimes things will go wrong, and I want to have that spare health just in case. If I was doing this, you know, world record pace, obviously, I couldn't afford to make certain mistakes like that, but trying to be realistic for me, I want to maintain the health. Now there, if you cross that bridge low enough, and then you move up like I did, you make that tank right at the very end here despawn. Otherwise, if it doesn't despawn, I have the missile to handle it. There, I get the quick jump in one motion, but I swing late there. Now, I don't kill this fire guy that's right in front of me because I found that when you kill or don't kill certain enemies, it seems to be kind of the trigger to make the games flip-flop the enemy sets, and I don't want them to change on me here. I need it to be the fire guys and the moths. So that's why I just kind of like let that guy keep walking so I didn't kill him. Which I think ultimately worked out for me because every other time I think I've killed him, it would change the enemy sets midway through here, which is not what I want because this takes longer and it's kind of more dangerous. Now I grab the full health pizza. I do not fill up the other turtles like I did in the last run. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did that in the last run. I'm trying to save some time, and if I'm doing it right, I shouldn't need to switch them anyway, so we're playing riskier than I normally would, but it's all for trying to get a better time. Now this section here, sometimes the enemy set will not play nice. In this case, it didn't. It switched to the balloon instead of being another moth and then a fire guy here. I don't know why it switched. I don't know what enemy I killed or didn't kill that made that happen, but I had to try to adjust on the fly. Here I stopped for a split second because otherwise that fire thing could knock you down into the pit. Nice clean first half of Mecha Turtle, I was happy with that. The second half is a little more random, but had decent RNG there. He didn't shoot any of his weaponry. Sometimes if he fires his big missile and then you kill him, the missile has to like home around for a while and then fly off screen. Only then the sequence will end, which costs you time. So I'm always trying to make sure I avoid that. At this point, I had 27.5 seconds ahead, which I was honestly kind of surprised by. Because given how some of the sections went a little sloppy there, like with the moss and the fire guy and how I had to stop for a moment, I figured that I would be I figured I would have lost a lot more time, but somehow it's not too bad, actually. We're actually ahead by a decent amount compared to all my other runs. This is another section that constantly was flip-flopping on me, whether it would be the balloons or the bugs, and then whether this would be the jumping jack guy like it is now, or the other guy. I always call them shredder heads, but the guys that spit fire and then their heads come off. Because if you actually maintain that enemy set, the one where the guy's head comes off, you can actually do a neat little skip here. You can actually get ahead of the grappling point, and then you can jump across and have the head hit you from behind at the right moment, so you'll damage boost across the gap, and you can save time that way. You can only do it for the first two, though, not this third one. It's too big of a gap. Now here I messed up the jump twice, which is a little unfortunate, but still made it through. Unfortunately, I was a little too far to the right. If you come down through the ceiling and you haven't moved too far to the right on the screen from the jump, that jumping jack guy will be facing that wall and just walking into it. He won't approach you, so you can just bypass him easily. But the important thing is to at least get the skip. So I didn't nail it perfectly, but it's fine. At this point, I'm still committed to the run, so I'm still going for it. Now see there, I stop and fidget for a split sec, because otherwise I tend to run into that second bug on the ceiling. So I learned to just kind of fidget and not run into it. Quick kill on that guy. You'll see here that I swing an extra time upwards and downwards, really, just to maintain my rhythm. Kind of keeps me on pace so that I don't miss the next things coming up at the end there. Straightforward room, but you'd be surprised at how many times I fell into those spikes for just stupid movement. Had to have happened at least 2 or 3 times. Now here we're hoping for good RNG with these guys with their boomerangs. We got good RNG, they didn't get in my way with them. This guy also did not throw any boomerangs, which is nice. Normally I hit both of the enemies there, but that's okay. The important thing is I cleared it. So far at this point, it's not too bad. The stage is going decently well. Some of the hardest parts are at the end. There, if you move just right, you can hit the guy on the way down when you're falling from the ladder, which saves you an extra swing. Get some fireworks here. They never actually hit you, but they try to. So now we get Wrath back. Now this room, this is where things started to take a turn. Normally, I like to get the ninja scrolls right there and put them on Wrath for safety. I get bumped into them and I pick them up with Dawning, and so I ended up kind of flinching for a second. Inside my head, I'm panicking at this point because this is not how it's supposed to go. The reason I don't like having the scrolls on Dawning is because if I accidentally pick up another weapon, they get overridden, and then I'm screwed. At least for the Shredder fight, it won't go how I planned. So I wasn't really sure what to do at this point. I told myself I gotta just keep going and just try to not get those ninja scrolls overridden. At this point, I don't even need Wrath, because normally I would just stash them on him. That's the only reason he stays alive. But at this point, I have no choice but to keep going. I know the optimal way is to actually have the ninja scrolls on Donnie, because then you can do extra damage tricks with it, and not have to switch turtles and all that, but I don't do that. There, I messed up the jump. I was supposed to jump straight up, and for some reason I jumped forward, which then messes up this entire end section, so I end up taking some hits that I shouldn't. And at this point, I'm thinking that I've probably cost myself too much time with little things in these last sections, but I think overall it actually wasn't too bad. As many times as I do this section, it's still a little nerve-wracking. 99% of the time I clear it, but there is the occasion where I will mess it up. Now here I go for a pause trick when you spawn in. It's kind of like right as your turtle spawns in and both of the health bars are visible, but his eyes haven't come in yet. You can pause the game like that, and then you won't see that thing in his mouth, but the hitbox is actually there, so you can actually start swinging at it immediately. I didn't get it here, so you can see me shake my head. I'd say about half the time I get that. I really wanted to show that off. But we still gained 4 seconds from that whole section, so we're still ahead on time at this point. So this is the moment of truth. This is how a lot of the runs went. I would be ahead on time. Sometime, one of the runs, I had a really good time save going. But now we're in Area 5. And it's the whole thing about, did I press start at the right time at the title screen to get that set of frames? There's like a 6-frame window to get Cave 1. I get the skip here in 2 tries, which is not bad. I really like getting it in 1, but 2 or 3 is fine. It still saves me a ton of time. And this is the dreaded moment. Holy shit. Now that was live commentary because I was, after so many failed attempts of not getting Cave 1, I finally get it while I'm ahead on time. So at this point, it's serious mode. I hit the front gun 4 times, then the back one 3 times. Get a few hits in on the eye, finish off the back gun, just to make sure it's out of my way. And then now it's just about hitting the eye. You can get 3 hits per volley if you do it right, if you jump just at the right time. If you also do small jumps instead of big ones, that foot soldier will stay down there. Not the best fight, but not terrible.
I have the Ninja Scrolls on Donnie. I never have them. They were supposed to be on Raph.
Talked over myself a little bit there. I'm pretty much saying this is dangerous because I'm running the risk of losing the Ninja Scrolls. So at this point, my heartbeat is going like crazy right now because I know I have a real shot, but I'm scared I'm going to lose the Ninja Scrolls. So it's just super focus mode for me at this point. Part of the thing also is, because not every run makes it here, I don't have as much practice for these ending sections. Now at this point, I'm thinking to myself, as long as I don't take as long as I did on the last run to get this skip, you know, I'll definitely gain time. But as you can see, go figure, on the run that's actually possible to get a new time, I'm not nailing it.
Jesus, that took too long again.
In a lot of the other runs, I get it in 1 or 2 tries.
Stood up at the wrong time.
And at this point, I'm kind of flustered because of it, so that's why I make the mistake of standing up too soon there. I wanted to come up in between those 2 enemies. But at this point, I'm thinking to myself, I think I'm still on pace to get the time I want. I just have to not mess up. This room in particular was really nasty last time. Much better this time around. I know I'm getting some lag, but... Now you see I switched to Mikey here. Because right there, more often than not, I'll end up picking up a weapon there. Trick to keep my movement as I hit through them. I stop on that enemy set because I need them to back off far enough so that they disappear right here. Otherwise they follow me. And then it messes everything up. And at this point, I'm almost home free. I just have to not mess this section up. And at least I have a good amount of health. So I have some safety. I missed swing there, but that's okay. I try not to panic. At this point, I'm home free. I will not lose the Ninja Scrolls anymore. There's no chance of it. Quick kill on that guy. All that's left is Shredder. But the time is... It's coming down to the wire. It's getting close. Holy shit! I finally got the sub 20. So many runs ended because I didn't get Cave 1. I thought I was screwed as soon as I picked up the Ninja Scrolls on Donnie. I switched to Mikey in that corridor because I knew there's a chance that I was going to pick up a power-up, and sure enough I did. And then I switched back to Donnie so that I keep the scrolls. I never do it that way. I usually give the scrolls to Raph. Holy shit. It's done. I'm done speedrunning this. I got the sub 20 I was looking for after, like, I don't know how many run attempts. I don't know what to say at this point, guys. I'm definitely going to have to dub over it with post-commentary. I was doing so many runs in a row where it just wasn't happening. I got tired of doing commentary, so I told myself I'm just going to record a run, and as soon as I get an actual good one, I'll just do post-commentary, because then I can explain stuff. I know that my timing is not technically correct. Technically, my time is a little faster because you're not supposed to start the timer until you gain control of your turtle. I'll probably have to, like, frame count it or whatever and get a true exact time, but it's off by maybe 2 or 3 seconds at most, you know, from when I press start to when you gain control of the turtle, so maybe it's closer to something like 1950, give or take. I am playing this on an emulator. I don't know if that's allowed for speedruns like speedrun.com, but you know what? I gotta look into it because I don't care if this isn't world record, if I can be somewhere on the boards. And if not, if it's not technically allowed, you know what? That's okay by me. I'm happy with this. I finally, after like 3 days of grinding this for hours on end. Oh my god. I might have to put together a montage of all the times when I had a really good time going and it wasn't Cave 1, because I have a lot of them. I don't know what else to say, guys. It's done. I'm as fun as it was in a way to try to get this time. I'm spent. Could I improve this time? Technically, yes. The dam level, I screwed up a little bit there. There's a little bit of places to improve, but overall. Well, also, I didn't get the skip in the Technodrome that quickly, and I was honestly kind of choking there. But you know what? We hit it. I'm done. I'm moving on to something else. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll see you guys next time.